Welcome to episode 54 of the Creative Train podcast. This one is just a little New Year's update, maybe give you a little shot in the arm of motivation and inspiration if you're feeling a little bloated or tired from the holiday season. I recently heard a really surprising stat about podcasts, and it basically showed that only about 8% of new podcasts make it past the 10th episode. That got me thinking. The premise of that video that I watched was trying to stick with it. That no matter how few followers or comments or likes and shares you have at first, if you stick with it, eventually you get noticed. And if it's only by a couple of people, hopefully it's the right people. All aboard. When I first started the Creative Train podcast, I mentioned this before, I got a little worried around episode 7 or 8 that I'd maybe gotten myself into something I wouldn't actually have the momentum or the wellspring of ideas to go much further with. And this video that I saw about sticking with it reminded me of those days last year when I started the podcast. And I was like, I feel like a bit of a poser. You know, the imposter syndrome. But now, with this, the 54th episode, I want to genuinely extend my thanks and gratitude to all of you who are regular listeners, or maybe you're just hearing this podcast for the first time. To date, there are listeners in Canada, United States, Netherlands, Ireland, Belgium, Germany, Romania, and as of this week, India. How cool is that? I've not used any clickbait ads to attract listeners, no irritating paid social media campaigns, just sharing on the big podcast portals as well as YouTube and on my personal and creativetrain.ca Facebook pages. And I wanted to see how it would grow organically by attracting folks who are looking for podcasts like this. It's a place to come for a dose of positivity and encouragement and a sense of being a part of an artistic community. The first episode was uploaded July 18th of 2024. And today, right now, it's New Year's Day 2026. So again, thank you for your support in listening and subscribing and helping me become one of those 92 or so % who don't make it past 10 episodes. I keep everything here 100% genuine and truthful so that you come to understand that yes, you can make a living in the arts, but also to give you a heads up that it's not glamorous. It's often really difficult. And the rewards and personal satisfaction, though, of making a living, supporting yourself and your family with your creative skills is by far the best thing I can imagine. For me, anyway. And there's that one little sort of caveat thing that goes along with this. And I kind of find this funny and deeply irritating. You know, somebody would see me perform and I have a nice guitar. Well, I saved for years to be able to afford that guitar. But a lot of people assume that because you have a shiny guitar, you probably buy one every week or something. And it's not that. The things that you gain by making your living this way are hard to come by and slow to come, but they do come. Every single topic, like I said here, has been 100% my own experience. Like that thing about somebody thinking I'm rich because I have a shiny guitar. Here we talk about the good, the bad, the lovely, and the ugly. And it's all about how I myself and my guests that I have on make their living partially or fully working in various artistic or educational fields. And I do have some really neat guests coming up. We're going to throw a little bit more coal onto the fire, so to speak, and get this train rolling again after a 3-week break. A while back, I mentioned that I'm creating a workbook as a companion to go with the podcast topics. And this is looking pretty good for a spring of 2026 release. So stay tuned for details. I'm really excited about that. It's a book with a very unique, you might say, odd format, and that it's not a method book on how to be creative, where I would say, do this thing this way and move on to the next task. It's not like a cookbook for creativity. Rather, it's a book of inspirations with room, of course, for your journaling. So there's no chronology, no particular order you must follow when reading this book. I'm designing it so that you'll be able to glean something hopefully new to you, or maybe be reminded of something usable, or gain some new insight or self-observation. And it's all focused on keeping the reader on track without having to feel like they're on some kind of regimen or strict schedule. Guilt-free, open any page and get something to do. Because I know how a lot of creatives think. And sometimes the very last thing we want is to have someone or something try to corral us or place expectations upon us based on someone's idea of what creativity is. I've had students who demand schedules and regimens because they don't know how to do creativity anything, especially as adults. They've often thought about picking up an instrument and just never had time, and maybe now their kids are moved away and they have some time and they try it. And I like to let people have free reign over what they learn. How they learn it is my job. What they learn is up to them because I want them to stay inspired. I don't want to say, you must play this song. I can suggest songs. There's a lot of songs that I know that have a lot of good teachable moments in it. Maybe not songs that I even like. I might despise the song, but I'd say, hey, if you want to do something really cool, check out this song. But the already active creative mind doesn't really work that way. And I'm sure if you're doing some self-examination right now, you're probably smiling and nodding your head that, yes, it's true. You, as a creative thinker and doer, have come to rely on your mindset, your skills, your experiences in whatever creative artistic discipline you're in. So you don't need or want someone to come along and try and impose some fancy new fantastic secret process guaranteed to kickstart your creative journey and make you $1 million, because there is no secret to thinking or working or creating any kind of art. And if someone tells you that there is and they want to sell it to you, they're lying. So then you're like, you just built up this book and now you're tearing it down. So like, what is the point of the book? It's for you to be able to open it to any random page, read something inspiring, consider taking on a creative challenge that I would put to you. And I refer back to various podcast episodes for deeper dives on these things. So it's not a chapter book. Each page is basically going to be a thing. You know, it's written in point form. It's quick. It's easy. You don't have to commit hours or whatever to plodding through this thing. You open it up and there's a few things for you to think about. Things that I think are important as an artist and a teacher. Things that I wish I would have had pointed out to me along the way. So now I'm giving those to you. So you can open it to any random page, take on the challenge that's there, deep dive into the podcast episode, but it's for all the people who are genuinely wanting to become more confident and productive creators and educators. It's the things that we face on a daily basis as part of our own unique creative process. So that's it for this episode. Short and to the point. I would love to know where you're listening from and maybe how you found the Creative Train podcast online. Let's have a conversation and keep everyone inspired. There's your pep talk. Now go get to work. So we're kicking off 2026 with some really neat guests coming up, and go back and check out a few of the other guests that I've had. I think you'll really enjoy listening to them. Sometimes we get a little bit long-winded, but you know, it happens when you're talking shop, right? Some of these folks I've never met in real life. We just know each other through social media and become quick friends that way. It's a great way to build relationships when you feel like you're part of a community, even somebody who's a virtual, actual stranger in your life because you kind of do the same things. You go through the same things. Your mind works in similar ways, and you find a real great sense of community. That's one of my favorite things about social media. Absolutely. So thanks for listening, folks.